Hello and welcome to Nice and Blunt. I didn't realize I already hit the live button, so there was that little little moment at the top that I was not planning to have as the first scene. So already off to a great start, but here we are. My name is Adam Mariancho, and it's 8:10 p.m. We're 5 minutes away from the start of the auction subscriber draft, and can't wait. Let's get to it. All right, here we are. And before we have about 4 minutes before it starts, let's break down this thumbnail because I had a blast making it. Y'all gave me some real good content to use and reference for this thumbnail. And let's introduce each person in the subscriber league. Nominating first, we have Salisbury Suicide, aka Eduardo Corocho. I obviously could not depict whatever Salisbury Suicide is a reference to. So I went with Eduardo Corocho, famous bullfighter from Seinfeld. Eduardo Corocho at number one. Number two is Hit and Run, none other than Angus McKay. You've seen him on the channel in the past. Nominating at three is Hertz Almighty, also known as Ethan Annabelle, who knocked me out of the playoffs last year. I went 7-7, and one of my losses was to Hertz Almighty by 6 points, and it was the week where Jalen Hurts scored a rushing touchdown of about 10-ish yards in overtime. That was a 6-point loss. Without it, I would have made the playoffs. I am still bitter about it. I understand the praise of Jalen Hurts. But nominating fourth, we have Nakua Matata, also known as Matt Barrero. And I was lucky enough to find a literal logo for Nakua Matata. That was ideal. So that was great. At number five, who joined and then recently dipped out. You better get the fuck back in here before it starts. He's got 2.5 minutes, though. We have Hawk to a Moon, Christopher Dawkins. Welcome to the league. First year for Hawk to a Moon, Chris Dawkins. At number six, we have Goat Mode, and I found a perfect photo of Caleb Williams to commemorate the Chicago Bears with his pink phone and all, nominating at six. At seven, we have Go-Go Bongzilla, where I honored Mr. Godzilla himself, taking a rip from the bong there in the thumbnail. But at eight is yours truly, 4th and 20. That is me, and I do have a joint that I will be lighting up later on. But at number nine, we have Huron Riverat Jason Calhoun, and I feel like I found a great logo for you, but you've got a great logo yourself already. At number 10, we have Johnny Football, and Johnny Manziel is there. His real name is Jonathan Day, and he has been part of the channel. I believe he was my 23rd subscriber. Honored to have him in this draft. But we got 1 minute left, and pick 11, we got Fight Me, also known as, I want to get this right, Nick Mollison. Nick Mollison. And here we go. Perfect logo. But at number 12, we have the reigning champ, Pasture Interference. That's that cow laying down in the grass. And that is your 2024 subscriber league members. Excited for everyone to be here. And we've got 36 seconds. Jonathan, you need to log the fuck in. Same with Christopher Dawkins. I've seen you dip in and dip out. Get in here. We got 30 seconds. 30 seconds. I'm going to drop a message in the group chat. 30 seconds, baby. It's down to 17, really. But excited. Very excited. You can't really prepare for these auction drafts. You really can't. So we'll see what happens. But thank you very much, Jonathan, for joining the channel. Jason Hopkins is a member. Really appreciate that. But first player nominated, Breece Hall. All right. I'm going to bring the sound down because I don't think we need all of that shit over the course of this. I'm not going to be able to hit all of the messages as they come in. I think that's understandable. But let's speed this up here. Let's offer $30 because Breece is going for more than that. Okay. Once you hit that offer button, it really sinks in. This is legit. But almost let him go for 55. No. That's not the move. Real close there. Real close there at 59. I'll take him for 61. Oh, we're up to 63 already. Up to 63. Pre-draft value of 67. It's a lot. It's a lot. Hit and run has him for 63. Felt like I could have hit the button one more time, but I'll let him go. I'll let Brees go. Garrett Wilson now nominated. This shit's real, but all right. Let's get Johnny Football back on stream, back logged in. There he is. There he is. He's going in and out. He's going in and out. Okay. Garrett Wilson still moving up. Still going up. Now at 44. I hope you strap in. This will be a long one, fellas. This will be a long one, but oh wow. Hit and run opting for a double potential stack. He is still bidding on Garrett Wilson at $50. Do we let him deplete his budget? All right, Angus McKay, hit and run, is the only one who's drafted so far, taking both Brees Hall and Garrett Wilson. So if Rodgers goes down, we'll see what happens. But you know, there's a shit ton of volume going to those two. Okay, his budget's down to 87 already. We'll see how that works out. Jonathan's hotel Wi-Fi sucks balls, so he's been dipping in and out. That's a bummer, man. That's rough. But we'll get in on Gibbs here. Let's tick this up. And Jahmyr Gibbs is mine for $46. The difference between Brees Hall and Jahmyr Gibbs, it is a different tier. Brees can be number one. He's my number 2 this season, but I got Gibbs at number 4 for $46 compared to 63. I will take it and move on. I've got my RB1. I've got Jahmyr Gibbs. All right. I like to have at least one at all the positions I can trust. Puka at 36. I mean, I'll increase that. I mean, I think it's pretty obvious. We all know Nakua Matata is going to be willing to keep bidding on Puka. Nope, you're not going to get him for 41. There you go. You bid 50. Congrats. Gonna have to bid 52. Okay. I'm out at 52. Unless somebody else wants to bid, he's yours. Just that little extra. Just that little extra, Matt. One more click of the button. But for 52, feels fitting that you get Puka on your team. Where does Hawk Tua go? Matt adds, I'll take it. Let me just have it. I imagine the hammy concerns is why I got Jameer for 46. His pre-draft value was higher than Pacheco. Pacheco's current pre-draft value is 48. I got Gibbs at 46. So I'm comfortable with that. Maybe it burns me, but I'm willing to invest in Jameer. Big bidding war on Isaiah Pacheco at the moment. Currently 37, and we'll dip in at 38. We'll dip in at 42. Bongzilla in at 43. I'll go 44. Stud running backs, baby. Got my ride or die. Isaiah Pacheco and Jahmyr Gibbs. Okay. My budget's now 110. We'll see how that works out, but let's go. Gibbs and Pacheco. Going to be rough to beat, fellas. Hurts, Saquon, already up to 49. All right, well, I've drafted 2 players. I was personally going to do this once I drafted 1 player. So I'm a little late to the show. Let's light this bad boy up, shall we? Actually, no, I'll wait until I nominate. I've got to nominate after this next one. We'll give it a little bit of time. Little bit of time. But Bijan Robinson, the Bijan Al-Gaib. I think that's a elite team name if anyone drafts Bijan this year. Last year I had Bijan on a team, and I went with Grey Poupon Bijan, and I loved it. But given Dune, the success of that this season, I think Bijan Al-Gaib is perfect. The Bijan Al-Gaib. Going for 56. How much did Breece Hall go? 63. We gonna let Bijan go for less than Breece in this one? Already up to 61. And Riverette gets his guy. Okay. We've been nominating a lot of running backs, so let's stick with that theme. Let's deplete the budget, y'all. Christian McCaffrey is up for nomination. I'll just be honest right now. There's no fucking way I'm drafting Christian McCaffrey when I already have Gibbs and Pacheco. I can't spend $70 when I'm down to 110 already. But he's up to 56 now. Fight Me's got him. Going once. Ooh. Up to 57. $58. $59. There we go. Yeah, Bijan just went for 61. We're really going to let CMC go for 58? I don't think so. Up to 62. Sold to Fight Me for 62, which means Breece Hall is currently the 101 at $63. Breece Hall went for more than McCaffrey in this draft. Let's just mention that for the record. But after that, let's light it up. It's been a long time since I've smoked weed on the channel. And I think this is fitting. I think this is the right time. I mean, my team name is 4th and 20. I've got a picture of Ricky Williams with a joint in his mouth as my logo. I think it's about time that we blaze it. But I'm going to take one last rip, then I'm going to put this out. I want to save it for a little bit later. We've got a long stream, fellas. A long draft ahead of us. But I really love the fact that all these running backs have been nominated so far. And I've got Gibbs and Pacheco already. Like, let it happen. We're going to hit that tier break soon. Y'all are about to start getting desperate if you do not have a running back at the moment. But A-Chain for 15, I'll get in. That was really close. It would be so valuable to have Gibbs, Pacheco, and A-Chain, but you guys have to understand that this $22 pre-draft value is so much less than it should be. Almost went in at 31 there, but given my budget, I just don't think I could. Gotta plan ahead. Gotta keep that in mind. CeeDee Lamb currently going for 52. Now 53. There we go. Now it's working. I was trying to get the comments rolling earlier, but for some reason it was not. But yeah, we'll put it down here. Lamb up to 55. 56. I like the gamesmanship. Adding the tension. Letting it beep down, but just not letting it come to a close. Yo, Hit and Run is going for it at 57. He's got $87 left on the budget, and he is going for CeeDee Lamb. But he gets outbid at 58. He's back in at 59. Holy shit, y'all. Fight Me, not going to let it happen. Fight Me has some CMC. Going for CMC CeeDee Lamb. Holy shit. At $60. Does Hit and Run get back in? Nope. CeeDee Lamb goes for 60 to Fight Me. Damn. McCaffrey and Lamb on the same team. That'll be fun. That's going to be a juggernaut. You know, I feel like earlier, Fight Me, were you lying on this? Like, maybe this is your year, man. If you got McCaffrey and Lamb, definitely going to have a good shot to win, bro. But according to you earlier, you've never won a league. That's a great way to start it off. Kamara for 25. Now 26. This is a half PPR league, so Kamara is not at his peak value where he would be in full PPR, but goes to Hawk Tua. Now they have Devon Achane and Alvin Kamara for a combined 56 imaginary dollars. Salisbury nominating A.J. Brown. Pre-draft value, 58. I'll get in for 2. Up to 40. And Hurts Almighty probably going to target a stack. Let's be honest, y'all. Probably going to try to get back into the Jalen Hurts train. Up to 45. Now up to 47. Up to 48. 49. River Rat does not want to give him up. Hurts, though, keeping it going at 50. For context, Saquon Barkley also went for 50 in this draft. Garrett Wilson also went for 50. Now we're up to 52. 53 on A.J. Brown. Sold for 53 on a team with Bijan Robinson as well. River Rat down to an $86 budget with Bijan and A.J. Brown. All right. We're up to 46. Now I'm in at 47 on a Mr. JJ. Hit and Run going in at 51. Hurts Almighty in at 54. I almost had him at 52. Almost had him at 52. But Hit and Run getting back in at 55. And it looks like he's going to have him. Angus McKay with a team of Breece Hall, Garrett Wilson, Justin Jefferson with $32 left in the budget. Going to be a long wait for your next pick. That's for sure. But Mr. Derrick Henry has been nominated. Let's get this up. I offered 20. We're already up to 24. And what does the running back position look like? We got Taylor still available. ETN still available. Derrick Henry still available. Then we dip to the tier of Rachaad White, James Cook, Joe Mixon, Josh Jacobs, Kenneth Walker, Ramondre. It's a bummer that Johnny Football, there at 10, has a rough connection for Wi-Fi in the hotel, but he is in at 38, currently at the high bidder. Pre-draft value of 39, so I doubt Jonathan's going to be getting back in. As a context. Nope, he is back in at 40. Has yet to draft anyone. And that's who he takes, Derrick Henry of the Ravens. King Henry goes to Johnny Football. Nakua Matata nominates Travis Etienne. And on their roster, they have Puka Nakua and $148 left in the budget. I'll get it. Okay, here we go. Yeah. Thank you, River Rat, for going at 35. Hertz Almighty in at 36. Matata, 37. Back to Hertz, 38. Hertz yet to strike the gavel on anyone. At the moment, we still have Salisbury Suicide, Hertz Almighty, and Pasture Interference with a full untapped budget. Matata in at 42. Wants his RB1. Almighty in at 43. And it's understandable. There are not too many stud running backs left. And if you can get ETN, then you're not going to be forced to maybe pay up an extra $20 on Jonathan Taylor. But ETN continues to rise at 45. Between Hertz Almighty and Matata, we got a bidding war going. It almost timed out at 39, but here it times out finally at 45. Hertz Almighty gets his first player in ETN. So we're almost at the point where every single team has at least one player. Once we get to that point, I'll show you everyone's individual roster, not just as they're bidding. We'll mention who they have at the moment once the Interference and Salisbury at the bookend 112 get in. And Hawk Tua nominates Drake London, player that really burned me last season. I got him for $7, which I thought was a steal. Now he's going for $25, and London was abysmal last season. Abysmal. But up to 26, up to 27. Pre-draft value 39, but we've been usually a little under price on most of those players so far tonight. How many nominations have we had? So far, this is the 17th player nominated at the moment. Here is the draft summary so far. Breece Hall, 63. Garrett Wilson, 50. Gibbs, 46. Puka, 52. We'll get back to that. But Drake London goes to Salisbury Suicide. So all we need is Pasture Interference to draft their player, and we'll show you every single individual team with at least one pick so far. But I was about to say, are we really going to let Taylor sit at 1 for a while? Now he's up to 45. Hertz Almighty has ETN. Oh, shit. I got in at 47 there, but Interference is up to 48. Interference is yet to draft anyone. Has the highest budget, but is back in at 51. It beeped at least once there. They were 2 seconds away from getting him at 46. But now Taylor's up to 52. Not many options that you can feel extremely confident about at running back left. But Hertz Almighty gets Jonathan Taylor for 52. Interference still drawn a blank at the positions. Yet to strike the gavel. Tyreek Hill, love the nomination. Let's pay up, everyone. All after 36. 47, all the way up to 47 already. Up to 49. Goat Mode has Saquon. Bongzilla has Kyron. And Salisbury in at 51. Bongzilla in at 52. We've got a bidding war, everyone. On Tyreek Hill, currently 53. For context, Jefferson went 55. A.J. Brown went 53 in this draft. We're going to let Tyreek Hill go for 54. Beeps once, beats going twice, sold. All right. This I genuinely don't understand the pre-draft price, so I'm going to throw it out there. Let's see what happens. But Michael Pittman, honestly, I probably shouldn't have done that. That was not a fully thought out nomination, I'll be honest with you. But this, I'm very curious to see what happens. For context, Drake London just went 35, and Pittman currently is at 24. I do genuinely regret nominating Pittman there. A little early on Pittman. I think Josh Jacobs needs to be nominated soon. Just going to throw that out there. But I'll get in on a Mr. Mixon at $2, now up to 22. So thank you, Bongzilla, for upping the ante. How y'all feeling? 22 on Mixon. Matata does not have a running back yet, in at 23. And yeah, that feels a little inexpensive. We saw Alvin Kamara go for 26, so Mixon in at 23. That's a bit of a deal there. We'll see what happens, but Mike Evans is now nominated. Up to 23. Pittman just went 25. Evans also at 25, now 26. Almost had him for 26. But Bongzilla's in at 27. And book it. Bongzilla gets Mike Evans for 27. So in this draft, we've seen Mike Evans 27, Alvin Kamara 26, Joe Mixon 23. But this was probably a wise nomination here with Amon-Ra St. Brown. Ooh, almost. Oh, damn. That was fucking close. Hurts Almighty in at 56. Tyreek Hill just went for 54. Nakua Matata in at 57. Ooh, Hurts Almighty back in at 58. Let's go, boys. One more. Will he get up to 60? Come on. Yep. We have 60. Haven't seen a player go that high since CeeDee Lamb at 60. CeeDee Lamb for 60. St. Brown at 61. 62 on St. Brown. Shit. He's so valuable. I completely understand. Ethan with a good point. Can't take the money back with you. Down to 41 with Amon-Ra, Jonathan Taylor, Travis Etienne. $53 on Jamar Chase. Riverat going back in at 54. Takes him for 54. Mr. Josh Jacobs nominated. Johnny Football in at 38. $39. I'm so tempted, honestly. Like, I really want to. But I'm going to preserve the budget. Mr. Josh Allen. Whew. Up to 20. Real fast. On Josh Allen. 21 for GOAT mode. $25. Book it for 25. The card is in to Hawktua. Mr. DK Metcalf. I'm like genuinely so wired for this that I don't feel the weed. Like I can kind of feel it, but like not that high. I didn't smoke a shit ton though. Very tempting. Up to 23. Back to 24. And the interference is yet to draft a single player. There's strategy involved. You can preserve the budget for as long as possible, but at the same time, how many players are you willing to see fly off in exchange? There we go. We finally have a full slate of at least one pick. So Salisbury's rolling with Josh Jacobs, Drake London, and Michael Pittman. Hit and Run has Breece Hall, Garrett Wilson, Justin Jefferson. Hurts Almighty with Etienne, Jonathan Taylor, St. Brown. $41 left. Hit and Run, by the way, at $32 left. Salisbury has $101 left. But Nakua Matata has Mixon Puka with $125 left. Hawktua, $119 left on the budget. Josh Allen, Devon Achane, Alvin Kamara. GOAT mode has Saquon Barkley and $150 left. Bongzilla has $74 left with Kyron Williams, Tyreek Hill, Mike Evans. I've got $110 left with Gibbs and Pacheco left. and I get Nico Collins for 33 as my wide receiver 1. I've got Gibbs, Pacheco, and Nico so far. River Rat has Bijan, AJ Brown, Jamar Chase with 32 left. Johnny Football has Derrick Henry with 160 left. Fight Me has 78 left with CMC and CD Lamb. Wow, just saying that together. What a juggernaut. But the passer interference has 174. They got the highest budget with 174 left, and DK Metcalf on the roster. Almost got Rachaad White there for $8. Now he's up to 20. Yeah, we almost heard a beat on Rachaad White at like $7. Now he's up to 21, 24, 25. I kind of regret not having Tank Dell instead of Nico Collins because I'm sure he's going to go cheaper, but 33 on Tank Dell when DK Metcalf goes 26. I'm comfortable with that. Drake London went 35, by the way, for more context. Oh boy, Brandon Ayuk. Was there any news on Ayuk today? Did something happen? Did something happen? Sorry for the spike in volume there, but I've got Nico and Ayuk there. So far, I'm rolling with Jahmyr Gibbs, Isaiah Pacheco, Nico Collins, and Brandon Ayuk with $51 left. And James, yes, I was very aware. I was so happy earlier today, but I've been trying to contain it. Because I didn't want to tip my hand like I was that ecstatic about it. But I will take Ayuk for 26. I'm so happy I got the news today and not like later in the weekend. I'd be so fucking panicked if the news didn't come in today. But oh boy, I feel good about my team so far. We can make it work with other options, but am I nominating? Yes, I am nominating, and let's drop a Kenneth Walker. That was very high. That was embarrassing to me. But let's put Kenneth Walker on the clock here, where I'm sure Hit and Run is pissed. He's only has $32. But I know Johnny Football wants him. For context, Alvin Kamara went for this price as well. Nakua Matata in at 26. Up to 27. Goes to Johnny Football, which I'm happy to see. He's a Seahawks fan. But Rachaad White and Kenneth Walker go for the same at 27, which feels fair. Kind of a similar tier, but I think Walker has a little more upside. Personally, at this point, with the budgets how they are, Interesting to see pasture interference not get in on that bidding war with the highest budget left and only DK Metcalf on the roster. The interference, I'll be honest with you, man, running back is a little bit slim. But you won the league last year. I'm not going to question your strategy. If anything, it's probably going to dominate in like 20 minutes. Give it a half hour. We'll see what the roster looks like. But Hawk Tua. Oh, Hawk Tua. Oh, Hawk Tua, no. With Allen at 25, I don't think you can price enforce there at 20, my friend. That's rough. Hawk Tua, that's rough. You have the budget to compensate, but to have Allen and Jacobs for a combined 45, I wish you the best of luck, man. I really do. But just gonna be honest, that's a tough hole to dig yourself out of. If no one's willing to trade, that could be rough. On the flip side, if someone loses a quarterback to injury, you know exactly who has the leverage in that trade with Lamar and Josh Allen to part with. Could work out. We're going to find out. But Cooper Kupp moving up the board. And I'm feeling it. Let's light this up again. We're about 50 minutes almost into the stream. Cooper Kupp goes for 28. Marvin Harrison currently nominated. Without a picture, it's kind of hard to tell, but almost went for $11 there. Almost timed out on $11, but immediately up to 17. Now 19, 20. Hawk Tua was excited for a moment. Yeah, now it makes more sense. Let's see it rise. Marvin up to 26. And with the last two picks, the pasture interference has gotten back into this draft, drafting the last two guys. Laporta for 16, Kupp for 28, budget down to 130 with DK Metcalf as well. No running back yet, though, for the pasture interference. We shall see how that works out. But Marvin continues to fly up. I got Nico for 33, and Marvin is now going for 34. So that makes me feel a little bit better. I would hate to see him go for 11, but goes to Salisbury, Eduardo Corocchio, with pretty solid receiver core at the moment with Drake London, Michael Pittman, Marvin Harrison, and Josh Jacobs. The roster looking pretty solid with 67 left on the budget. A reminder, I have $51 left, and I've got Jahmyr Gibbs, Isaiah Pacheco, Nico Collins, Brandon Ayuk on my team so far. But DJ Moore's currently on the board, going at 20 at the moment. A lot of excitement with Caleb Williams, and almost goes for 20. That was real down to the wire there. But currently going to Hawk Tua for 22. Going twice, almost sold. I'll be honest with you, there's part of me in the back of my head that feels a little bit odd for like listing the prices, but like I guess this is what you get when you're paid $27 million per year. You know, these athletes have so much money. It feels a little bit weird to mention it, but I think I would be comfortable if that was my salary. There's a lot of other shit to worry about. This is very minimal. But Rashee Rice currently moving up at 13, 14 now. Bite Me gets him at 16. All right, so 16, the same price as Laporta. $1 less than Brian Robinson Jr. Brian Robinson Jr. went for 17. That's kind of shocking, honestly. With a lot of other running backs available on the board, to see Brian Robinson at 16. But I'm just going to be completely flat out honest. I already have one Chief on my roster. As a Charger fan, I cannot draft Travis Kelce. I simply cannot do it. You will not see me with double Chiefs, especially if one is Kelce. Kelce owns the Chargers. It's like embarrassing that the Chargers cannot stop him. They can body slam him to the ground, almost force a fumble in the process, but we cannot fucking stop him from scoring in the end zone. It's Kelce. Currently at 13. Laporta went 16 a few minutes ago. And Kelce goes to GOAT mode for 13. He's also got Barkley, and I believe the highest budget remaining. GOAT mode has 137. Johnny Football has 133. The Interference has 130. And Nakua Matata has 125. Everybody else is below $70. But Trey McBride already up to 8. Up to 10. Now 12. And he's probably one of the safest tight ends you can have. Ooh, almost gets him for 12. Back in at 14 though. But Trey McBride to Johnny Football for 14. Kelce went 13. But here on the screen is Hawk Tua Moon for full mention. He's got Josh Allen, Devon Achane, Alvin Kamara, DJ Moore, Rashad White, and Lamar Jackson. Honestly, not a bad roster. It's just a question of, will that Lamar Jackson for 20 burn him in the end? That's the only concern. Otherwise, I feel pretty good, pretty decent about Hawk Tua's roster. Would love it if there was $66 left instead of 46. But the price we pay for an elite QB. But Chris Olave currently moving up the board at 19. We just saw Rashee Rice for 16. Now 25, 26. I got Ayuk for 26. DK Metcalf also went for 26. And the beeps have begun for the Interference at 28, but no, GOAT mode is in at 29. Up to 30. The Interference not letting go. Has Metcalf, Cup, wants Olave. Whew. GOAT mode not letting it happen. Two highest remaining budgets going in on Olave. Goes to the Interference for 36. GOAT mode has Barkley and Kelce. Nominates Jalen Hurts. GOAT mode is at least in the driver's seat. If they really want a player, they have the most leverage to go in. But with the Interference at 130, it's basically the same drafting capital in terms of what you are able to do. But I'll go in on Hurts at 5, up to 6 now. The Ocho up to the 10. I'll go 12. Has Barkley. Hurts Almighty, finally. I'm surprised Hurts Almighty has not bid yet. But they were in at 14, already up to 15, 2 River Rat. Now, why would I say this out loud? I'll mention it after, but like, why would I say that right now? I've already given everyone my rankings. Do I really have to tip my hand while I'm drafting? Give me a little bit of negotiating power. But okay, now this feels appropriate. We saw Lamar go for 20. We saw Josh Allen go for 25. That's why I was like completely in at 12. I was like, really? But 21, Hurts Almighty, not gonna give up just yet. Feels like they have to get their player. Goat mode, jacking up the price, and I think that's wise, man. $22 to goat mode. Love the pick. You have the budget. You also have Barkley. There's a world where they just completely evaporate each other's rushing touchdown value. But I sense a potential name change for Hurts Almighty after this draft is over on the team name. Almost for 12. I was in at 13. Now I got to be in at 16. Shit. There's no rushing value here. That's the only problem. But I do have the Nico Collins stack as well. So tempted to take him here, but I just can't. Saskuro has a theory. Oh shit. I didn't realize I was nominating. My bad. I was like, what's gonna happen? I genuinely forgot that I was nominating. But I throw Adams up on the board there. Just gonna be completely honest. I don't think I'm taking Adams. Don't think I'm taking him. Adams goes to GOAT mode for 21. First receiver for GOAT mode has Hurts, Saquon, Adams, and Kelsey. Mahomes now nominated. I'll get in at 13. Are you really going to make me root for the Chiefs? Okay. Like it sinks in. Like, really? Am I going to take him? But no, I can't take 2 Chiefs on this. This Charger fan just can't do it. But boy, it was tempting. I'm glad I at least bumped up the price to 16. But a little shocking, honestly. Like, really? We're not going to let Mahomes go at the same price for, like, Lamar Jackson? Lamar went 20. This might be a steal on Mahomes. God damn. Damn it. Dell went 12, and I got Nico for 33. Yeah. Fight Me has a good roster. Fight Me's got CMC, CeeDee Lamb, Rashee Rice, and Tank Dell. Fuck. I didn't want him. Not for 8. Why would I want him for 8? I am getting my guys. Currently have 3 ride or dies on the team, and now I'm willing to let you know who I am going for at QB Abraham. I was going for Richardson. If not, I was comfortable taking Stroud, but he already went off. I almost took Mahomes at 16, but to get Richardson at 13 with more rushing upside, let's do it. Trying to get a difference maker. We got Richardson, Jahmyr Gibbs, Isaiah Pacheco, Nico Collins, and Brandon Ayuk on this team. $38 left in the budget. But y'all know my stance on Malik Neighbors. I'm not going to bid on Malik Neighbors here. $16 is currently the bid to Hit and Run, who has been waiting a long time to get back at the gavel. Who takes him? Naku Matata grabs Malik Neighbors for 17. All right. Aaron Jones to a known Vikings fan, currently for $1. But Antonio Lopez asking, would you do Jamar Chase, Mostert, and Chubb for Bijan and Lockett PPR? I have Kyron, Chase Brown, Hubbard, Dowdle at running back, and Waddle. Honestly, man, ask me tomorrow. Just ask me tomorrow. I can't wrap my head around someone else's roster. Thought for a moment maybe I could, but nah, man, I just can't do it right now. There's too much other shit going on. I'll be happy to answer the question tomorrow. But Aaron Jones up to 18. I don't think you even want my opinion right now. I'm too focused on my own team to focus on yours. Not going to be able to give you full processing power. At this pace, there's going to be a lot of fucking steals, man. Johnny Football is currently sitting with the highest budget and has a lot of opportunity in front of him. All right, I got T. Higgins. So my roster needs a tight end, a kicker, and a defense so far, but here's the starting roster with $23 left. Anthony Richardson, Jahmyr Gibbs, Isaiah Pacheco, Nico Collins, Brandon Ayuk, and T. Higgins. The interference, still without a running back. Fight me. Real nice roster, honestly, with the CMC, CD Lamb, Rashee Rice, Tank Dell. Currently, Waddle is going for 10. But Johnny Football needs a receiver in at 13. Given I just took T. Higgins for 15, I'm glad that Waddle's at least going for 16 right now. But I don't think I can even pretend like I can get in. I think I have the lowest budget right now. No, Riveretta has $16 left. I have 23. But Waddle just goes to Johnny Football for 19. So finally with his first receiver. And now Zamir White is nominated. Starting bid $5. A Mr. Zamir White. I need to ask a favor of someone. not in the draft, but I don't have any water with me. And the dry mouth is starting to kick in. I am making a request. And just to recap, Zamir White just went for $8. I took my eye off the board, but I'm fine with that. I was willing to allow it. Hawk Tua nominates Mark Andrews. Up to 2. Ooh, now I'm in at 7. Okay. Almost had him for 9. Will I go to 12? That's the big question. Nah, I don't think I can go to 13. Almost had him at 9. Real close. Evan Ingram now nominated. What happens here? Almost goes for 6, but now up to 9. To Hawk Tua, who just missed out on Mark Andrews. Matata in at 10. The interference still doesn't have a running back. And here we are all nominating tight ends. Kyle Pitts. Yikes. Up to 5. Now 6. Up to 9. We just saw Evan Ingram go for 10. Johnny Football in at 10. Hit and run in at 11. Right in between Andrews and Ingram. Let's throw the last, like, real good running back on the board, James Cook, who I think I know exactly where he's going. I think if this does not go to pass interference, I'd be kind of shocked. Johnny Football in at 15. And this could be one of the steals. I'm so shocked that the interference is not in this bidding war. You don't have a running back yet, man. You got $94 left. And compared to other values, wow, Johnny Football gets James Cook for 17. Also got Derrick Henry for 40, Kenneth Walker for 27. James Cook, potentially the steal of this draft at 17. Joe Burrow currently up to 5. Yeah, that's the thing, Abraham. This draft format is very compelling, especially when you're in it. Like, it's just demands your focus. And while Johnny Football is faded out, he did confirm he has been in this league since in this lobby since the beginning. He has been drafting with us. Just in case you were wondering, I don't think that was a big question. I think it was kind of known that he was already in, but just because it's faded, just for context. James Conner up to 11. Now up to 13 to GOAT mode, who has got Saquon and Aaron Jones. Grabs another old vet with high upside. GOAT mode has a decent team. Devontae Adams the only receiver, but good running back core, at least for the price. Saquon at 50, Aaron Jones 18, James Conner 13, Travis Kelce 13, Adams 21, Jalen Hurts 22. George Kittle at 9. So tempting. Almost clicked that button. Okay, the interference has Laporta, but the interference needs running back. Ooh, almost got Prescott for 5 there. Fight me. Needs a quarterback to stack with CeeDee Lamb. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. What did we just let happen? I think this is the only quarterback wide receiver stack so far. The team with Burrow does not have Jamar Chase or T. Higgins. The team with Stroud does not yet have a Houston receiver. Stephon Diggs now nominated, so I think Nakua Matata with CJ Stroud is probably the likely candidate to take Stephon Diggs here. Hawk Tua does not yet have a stack with Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson. Goat mode has Jalen Hurts, Saquon Barkley, so the running back. I got Richardson. Riverette has Mahomes. But the Dak Prescott CeeDee Lamb stack, that is a little scary. If you face off against Fight Me, I would be kind of terrified. Fight Me's team is fucking stellar right now. Yo, I think we fucked up. But yeah, Nakua Matata, like I mentioned, grabs Stephon Diggs for 13. And now my 33 on Nico Collins feels egregiously high. There's still some good players that are still left on the board. Like someone's got to nominate Deebo Samuel while all the budgets are still like reasonable. Same with Devontae Smith. I understand the Javonte nomination by hit and run with a very low budget because he's not even in the running for Deebo or Devontae, but would love to see them come off the board before the budgets really get stripped down. It's what I'm hoping to see personally. Ridley for $1 currently. Hawk Tua in at $8. I was in at $2, but now it's up to $8 real fast. $9 to the interference. Hertz Almighty in for 10. Down to a $13 budget, Hertz Almighty. With Joe Burrow, ETN, Taylor, Amon-Ra, Calvin Ridley, and Mark Andrews so far, with $13 left. $5 is the max bid on Hertz Almighty. Devontae up to 13. Johnny Football has Waddle, no other receiver. Devontae at 16. I'm just gonna mention this again. I'm really fucking pissed. I have Nico Collins at 33. I'm not happy about it, man. Oh, that was a mistake. That was a mistake. But my cat is asking for a little treat. I don't know if you heard her meow right there. But George Pickens is nominated. I'm just going to attend to my cat as fast as I can. Pickens up to 12. Now 13. Okay, I'm back. Pickens up to 17. Yeah, I'm good. Oh, I got my water. Check out this chalice. Ramondre's on the board. Just real quick, I'm going to show you the... Holy shit, I needed that. Holy shit. Ramondre currently going for $9. Ooh. Gotta pay attention. Gotta get back in. Currently at 9:30. We've been drafting for an hour and 15 already. How many players so far? 66 off the board. I told you this was going to be a long one. Yo, y'all are letting me have them. Okay. Well, in that case, let's throw out the highest ranked player in Deebo Samuel. Pre-draft value, $30. Let's see what happens on Deebo. We've just seen Devontae Smith go for 16. What we going to see on Deebo? Up to 14. 15 now. The interference getting back in. Hawk Tua in at 16. Hawk Tua only has DJ Moore at receiver. Hawk Tua is back in. The thing about Hawk Tua is they don't have that many spots left on their roster. So this $36 budget is actually very much in play. Deebo goes to Johnny Football for 23. Only had Jalen Waddle at receiver, so love to see it. Love to see it. I took Ayuk for 26. For more added context, I also took Nico Collins at 33. I really regret the Nico Collins pick. Not that he's not a good player, but Diggs goes for 13. Tank Dell goes for 12 in this draft. But in case I didn't mention, I got Jake Ferguson for $6. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 of my ride or dies on this roster. We're going to see how it works out. But the interference still without a running back. Kyler. Current bid is 16. We saw Mahomes go for 16. Johnny Football, highly coveting Kyler Murray. Has Trey McBride. That's a nice stack there. That's going to be interesting. Johnny Football has Kyler, Trey McBride. At running back, Derrick Henry, Kenneth Walker, James Cook, Jalen Waddle, Deebo Samuel are the receivers. The starting roster is full for Johnny Football. My starting roster also full with Richardson, Jahmyr Gibbs, Isaiah Pacheco, Nico Collins, Brandon Ayuk, Jake Ferguson, T. Higgins. Goat Mode has a full roster in Jalen Hurts, Saquon Barkley, Aaron Jones, Devontae Adams, George Pickens, Travis Kelce, and James Conner. Hawk Tua, not quite a full roster. They've got the bench already with Lamar Jackson and Ramondre Stevenson, but only one receiver, no tight end yet for Hawk Tua. Nakua Matata has a full roster with CJ Stroud, Joe Mixon, Zamir White, Puka, Malik Neighbors, Evan Ingram, Stephon Diggs, and Devontae Smith as well. Good bench there. Good receiving core for Nakua Matata. Mixon and Zamir. Interesting running back situation. But Hurts Almighty, not a full roster yet. Same with hit and run. Salisbury, not a full roster. I think that's all the full rosters. At least starting rosters. Nobody's completely filled out their team yet. But some of us at least have the starters already locked in. Matt, at least you're happy about it, man. I'm glad you're coming with the flair, baby. Abraham, honestly, I'd be interested in doing another subscriber league, but we would need at least like 8 people to email me. I had a few extras that are on the wait list, but unless I'm going to get a flood of inquiries over the next 24 hours, I doubt we'll do a second league. But next year, I would love to have 2. If we have 2, we'll have one that's a regular snake draft and one that's a salary cap like this. But if you are interested, you're welcome to email me at niceandblunt@gmail.com. Let me know you're interested. I need some way to contact you. So email is how to open that gate for, at worst, next year's subscriber league. You can reserve a spot on the wait list at the moment. But, Kincaid, the last, like, true tight end left on the board that's, like, elite. That's kind of why I took Ferguson there at $6. Right now, Kincaid is the last guy you can feel really comfortable with. And Njoku's definitely good, but a little riskier with Deshaun Watson at quarterback. But currently at $8, so that's nice. $9. Hawk Tua wants him. Would love to see him go to Hawk Tua, honestly, with Josh Allen there. That's a stack. That'd be so, so tempting. But the interference gets in at 10. Meanwhile, Bongzilla in at 11. Haven't seen Bongzilla's name dipping in for quite some time. Bongzilla gets Dalton Kincaid for 11. The interference is waiting for Greg Dortch. The interference has 94 left, and still a lot of good players, but just worried about that running back situation. We'll see how it goes for the interference, but I think really soon we're going to see like this mountain of interference grabs, like 6 straight picks for like a decent value just because nobody else can afford them. But Purdy for 3 almost goes for 2. But hit and run back in, they nominated him. Ooh, doesn't get him for 3. That's brutal. Only 1 second left on the timer. Godwin now up for nomination. Pre-draft value 13. Chris Godwin goes for 7 to the interference. Interference, still no running back. Montgomery now nominated. Pre-draft value $5. I was in for 6, but immediately talked to it for 7. Up to 10. The interference goes in at 11. Had a feeling. Up to 12 to Nakua Matata. I think the interference is going to be a little more desperate just for this specific pick. The highest remaining budget in at 13. Matata ups it to 14. So will we see a tripling of the pre-draft value on Montgomery? We do at 15. The interference is the leading bid on David Montgomery. Gets him. Solid floor play. For the RB1, Montgomery, solid. Obviously, if Gibbs goes down, that's going to look like a genius move, but we'll see about that. For 15, we haven't seen a running back go for 15 in quite some time, but Najee goes for 18, just for context. We also saw James Cook go for 17. But Hawk Tua did not get the stack with Kincaid. Nominates Keon Coleman. And Keon Coleman goes to Hawk Tua for $3, stacked up with Josh Allen. Some league-winning potential with that rookie. All right, I'm going to be nominating next, so I got to think of who to nominate. And then I think after I nominate, I'll light up the joint one more time. Jerome Ford nominated. Go Bongzilla takes over my $5 bid. I thought he would fall a little bit later, but goes for 6. I've got my quarterback already, so let's throw someone out there. Let's see what Jaden Daniels goes for. Salisbury in at 3, hit and run in at 4. Salisbury in at 5. Now we're seeing it. Up to 8 to Salisbury. Up to 9 to Go Bongzilla. Salisbury not letting go. Went up to 10, but Bongzilla has it at 11 at the moment. Ooh, Salisbury in at 12. The true league-winning potential of Jaden Daniels. I understand it's hard to pass up. That's why I nominated him, because I want to see the price. So I got Richardson for 13. Jaden Daniels goes for 12. I will take that $1 difference for the added 45-pound frame of Anthony Richardson. I will take that, and I am happy with it. But wow, haven't seen a player this late go for $12 in a while. Last guy was like Kincaid for 11, so that's the caliber of price on Jaden Daniels. Very interesting. Now Terry McLaurin on the board. This will be an interesting price. Pre-draft was 7. He's already up to 10. Up to 18. Shit. Goes to Salisbury. I believe that's a stack there. Yep. A Jaden Daniels, Terry McLaurin stack for Salisbury. McLaurin is on the bench, though, in the current roster construction. But a decent stack, nonetheless. DeAndre Swift, current nominee. Up to 13. The desperation is starting to kick in. The interference in at 14, but needs to go 16 if they really want him. Goat Mode, who did just get Jalen Warren not long ago for $3. That's a steal. Shit, I didn't even notice Jalen Warren. Whoa. This is kind of insane. By comparison, Swift is at 19 right now, and Jalen Warren just went for 3. I know Jalen Warren has an injury, but fuck. Goes to Goat Mode. Love to see it. Goat Mode is a Bears fan. But Swift for 19. He's also the team with Jalen Warren for 3. So a combined 22 on Jalen Warren, DeAndre Swift is a little bit more palatable, but very interesting to see that. Honestly, I'm a little shocked to see someone bid $2 on Eckler. I felt like that had a potential of going for $1. Legitimately. Up to 4. Okay, I was way off base there. Up to 5. Eckler goes for 5 to Nakua Matata. Herbert nominated. Feels weird that I'm like not trying to draft Herbert on my team, but I have Richardson, so I'm going to leave that alone. Salisbury has Jaden Daniels. I understand the strategy. Just get him for $1, and now you've got a locked-in backup. For $1, I think that's good. I think that's fine. One of the better backups you can get. I am obviously a little biased, but Herbert at $1. After the foot injury, a little shaky. I get it on the minimum bid. I think Salisbury Suicide's happy about it. Whoa. Salisbury just bids $3 on Jordan Love when they already have Jaden Daniels and Herbert. I think Love is worth more than but I feel like he's just going to go to this team because we're just forcing him to fill up the bench. Yeah, penalty pick there. Good value on Love. Salisbury has a great quarterback no matter what. Definitely rolling with a top 10 QB, but to have 3, that's rough. Only 3 more roster spots. 6 to begin with. 2 of them are on the QB position. That's a rough spot to be in. We'll see how it works out, but yeah, I think we collectively we're like, all right, not gonna take him away for you if you really want 3, but I feel like Hit and Run should have clicked at 4. Not too many like really safe quarterbacks left. There's a few. There's a few. Wow. Fuck. Oh, damn. Rome goes for 8. That was rough, man. Rome goes for 8. Amari Cooper goes for 7. To the same team. Nakua Matata has like an elite receiving core right now. He's got Puka, Malik Neighbors, Devontae Smith, Stephon Diggs, Amari Cooper, and Rome Odunze. Running back is Joe Mixon, Zamir White. I see a trade in their future. But damn, Nakua Matata with a gauntlet at receiver. And this is shocking to me. This, I know we have an IR spot here, but Jerome Ford went for 6. And Nick Chubb goes for 8. To the interference. Currently has Nick Chubb in the starting lineup with Dave Montgomery. But yeah, Matt, I think that's a little obvious. But what a platoon. Keenan at 3. This is going to be a wild season. There's some really interesting teams. But Keenan goes for 5 after Rome goes for 8. I think that's appropriate. How much did DJ Moore go for? DJ Moore went for 26. But Aaron Rodgers gets nominated. I am not bidding $2 on Rodgers. I will tell you that. Surprised Hit and Run doesn't want him with the stack. Who are we going to throw up here? We'll toss up Xavier Worthy. There is a bonus in this league for a 40-plus yard touchdown. Big play touchdown is an extra point. Not a lot, but worth something. Would have been ecstatic for Worthy at $1, but just wanted to see what happened. Saskuro. Brutal. A Dallas Goddard nomination. Does River Rat have a tight end? No, River Rat does not. And River Rat has a bit of a thin roster at the moment with Mahomes, the Bijan Al Gaib, Amon Ra, and Jamar Chase. I mean, it's a fucking stacked setup, but with only $16 left. In a bit of a hole. I understand the Goddard nomination, but for $1, y'all, this is. I was gonna say that's a gift. Hawk Tua, you need a tight end. Yeah, why not get in there? For 2, I like it. Hawk Tua, need a good tight end. Goddard is a bit of a tier break at the position. There's still a couple you can really feel decent about, but the questionable designation on David Njoku and Brock Bowers, I think, maybe looms a little bit in people's minds. But oh, Johnny Football, a defense nomination this early? Okay, I get it. I understand. But Hawk Tua, not too many roster spots left, if I'm correct. So yeah, 3 benches, a defense, and a kicker. Why not? You got $22. But let's see who's nominated now. Mr. Zach Moss. Fight Me needs running back badly. Was almost in for 6 there, but Nuku Matata gets in up to 7 for Gogo Bongzilla, who did take Jerome Ford for 6. Also took Brian Robinson Jr. for 17. Wow, interesting. Pre-draft value is $1 on Zach Moss, now up to 10. Zach Moss for 10. Now JSN on the board at $2 currently. The River Rat has a slim roster. Hit and Run, I believe, also has a slim roster. Grabs JSN for $3. Mostert up to $9. 11 now. The interference, the leading bid at 13 now. And makes sense. Given they have Dave Montgomery, Nick Chubb, and Raheem Mostert. If they get Mostert. That's not a guarantee, but in at 15, now outbid at 16. In at 17 is past your interference. Fight Me in at 18. Only has CMC. And the interference backs down. Mostert for 18. Shit. I mean, last year, that was the RB1 and RB2. We got 42 incoming touchdowns on Fight Me's roster with McCaffrey and Mostert. McCaffrey for 62, Mostert for 18. Oh, shit. I thought I was bidding 4. Okay.
I didn't really want him at 5. I was comfortable at 4, but glad I got it outbid at 6, honestly. Hit and run drafts Chase Brown for 6. Yeah, it's a tough landscape out there, man. Some panic, but I get it, bro. You needed a RB2. Definitely some high upside there. But Deontay Johnson currently at 5. Deontay up to 7. Goes to Hawk Tua, who's a little thin at receiver. Not terrible, but has DJ Moore, Christian Watson, Keon Coleman, now Deontay Johnson. I think that's a solid depth pickup there. Real good for Hawk Tua, I think. That Lamar Jackson pick. That's really interesting. But Tajay for 1. Tajay for 3. Gonna leave him. I'm gonna leave him. I was in at 2. Almost got him at 2, but made Nakua Matata pay up just a little bit. They only need defense and kicker, so Nakua Matata is pretty much done. And their running back room is Mixon, Zamir White, Eckler, Moss, and Tajay. Devin Singletary up for nomination. $5 goes to Gogo Bongzilla for 5, who also has Jerome Ford for 6. But Harrison Butker nominated. I get it. Goat Mode does not have many roster spots left. Want some controversy on their team. Last year, the offense was bad, so we'll see what happens this year, but I expect a lot more touchdowns. Not as many field goals, but Butker for $1. Perfectly justified. I understand the strategy. We're almost at 2 hours into the stream. I think it's forgivable. With only 2 other bench spots. Good to preserve the budget. But Christian Kirk for $2. Up to 6 real fast. Goes for $6. We'll see what happens here. Goat mode. Trying to get a backup tight end. Same with interference. In at 5 to the pasture interference. David Njoku. Are there any teams without a tight end yet? River Rat. Probably pissed I did that. Salisbury. Also no tight end. Tony Pollard up to 5. We just saw Tajay go for 3. Up to 6. Pasture interference. feeling the desperation kick in, up to 7. Browns get nominated. Okay. Browns up to $2. Goat mode wants his defense. Quarterbacks about to get real thin. There's not too many you're happy with left available. But running back has already been thinned out for a while. Receiver, we'll see about that. But tight end, looking thin. And I take Jonathan Brooks for 5. It's been a while since I've grabbed a player. But I have Gibbs, I have Pacheco. And I think that can hold with them for a while. I'm going to be able to stash Brooks on IR, and that's going to be really valuable for waiver wire purposes. I don't have a big budget left, but I'll be honest with you. I was highlighting Jonathan Brooks in the back of my mind as someone I really wanted to target. Whew. But Andre, what's up? How you doing? I think the draft is going well. You're here to see what it's like. The auction is so fun. When you're in it, it's riveting. But here on the board, in the corner, on the left-hand side, you can see my roster. You can see who I've taken. This is my team so far. Richardson, Gibbs, Pacheco, Nico Collins, Brandon Ayuk, Jake Ferguson, T. Higgins, Jonathan Brooks. I've got $12 left. The thing about an auction draft is there's going to be some players that go for a steal at the end. That's just inevitable. And what's kind of unfortunate is when everybody's like down to their like last $1 max. It's all about like where you are in the rotation when it starts, because it doesn't like snake back and forth. It goes in order. And so if that's when it starts and you just went, then that's who you're kind of stuck with. At the end. Oh, wow. Passer interference. This is the last pick they have. They have $38 and they're down to defense kicker. So passer interference is pretty much done. That's huge. Because it was the biggest budget. However, their full roster is full. Same with Nakua Matata. There are some teams that are now like just out of the running in terms of positional players. The interference is one of them. The running back core is now Dave Montgomery, Nick Chubb, Tony Pollard, and Chuba Hubbard. At least they got Chuba there. Early season value on Chuba. But Marquise Brown goes for $5. But Andre asking, do I like Bijan or Brees more this year? Give me Brees Hall. Oh, damn. Brandon Aubrey for $1. That's the best kicker available. Somebody bid 2. I'm not going to do it because my budget's low, but I would have loved to get Brandon Aubrey personally. That's a sharp nomination there from Nakua Matata. Very sharp. I don't think he missed a single fucking kick last season. Aubrey is just money in the bank every fucking time. I'm surprised that the interference didn't get in there, but uh you do you. You got $38 for a kicker and a defense. Might as well go in on Tucker. No one's outbidding the interference at $6 on Tucker. Still have 32 left for defense. Yeah, I'm a little surprised as well, Jason. But I mean, you can argue that Tucker is the best kicker as well. You can also make that argument. It at least pays up for Tucker. Matt throwing Ethan under the bus in the chat. Ethan not happy about it. But Sutton currently at $3, now 6. Hawktua was in at 6, but Bongzilla up to 7, Hawktua at 8. Goat mode very upset. But you have Jalen Hurts for 22. You laid your bed already. You set it up already. Damn it. Damn it. I was really hoping I could get Ty Chandler for $1. Not gonna happen. Now up to 5. I get it, Hawktua. Not too many more spots on the roster. And you do have Devon Achane, Alvin Kamara, Rashad White, Ramondre, and Ty Chandler. Not bad. Benson nominated. That's interesting. Do they have... Wow. River Rat. Still with only 4 players on the team. Gets Benson as the starting RB2 with Bijan. Johnny Football nominates the Chiefs defense. And he goes to Johnny Football, the Chiefs defense. Still good, but maybe not as good as last year without L'Jarius Sneed. Calhoun saying Connor won't make it to week 4. Good luck, man. Go mode. Responding. Jaden Reed's an interesting guy here. Currently up to 6. And Salisbury looks like he's going to get him for 6. Salisbury has a pretty complete roster for the most part. No tight end yet, but only 2 more bench spots are available for Salisbury. Kicker and defense still there. Mr. J.K. Dobbins. Damn it. I want to take him. I want to take him. But I can't. Fuck. We'll see how this works out. But Salisbury's going to get J.K. Dobbins for 5. They just took Jaden Reed for 6. One more spot on the bench for Salisbury. Bengals defense. Interesting, but definitely, at least for week 1, that is the best matchup to have. The Bengals get the Patriots in week 1. It is the minimum bid, so I understand the strategy from hit and run here. Sneaky, decent pick. Because not someone anybody wants, but for the sake of matchups, Bengals defense week 1. Home versus the Patriots and Jacoby Brissett. Not terrible for the minimum $1. But Hertz Almighty nominates DeAndre Hopkins. Who wants an injured DeAndre Hopkins for $2? I don't think... Not too many... Yeah. This stage in the game, decent nomination. Decent player, 32 years old, though. Already hurt. On the Titans, a little risky. But Cowboys defense, all the way up to $5 now. Hakuna Matata, with $8, can deplete the budget to get their defense if they really want to. Looks like they're going with 7. I would have just dropped 8, because if you get bid up to 8, you can't go higher. Might as well just put it at the full stop. And Gogo Bongzilla understands the situation, goes with an $8 bid on the Cowboys defense. Trust in Mike Zimmer. No more Dan Quinn there. But Cowboys go for $8. Damn it. Damn it, Haktua. Doesn't allow me to get my little lad McConkey. McConkey! I wish I could have had him. I was in at 4, but I get outbid to 5, and there he goes. To Haktua Moon for 5, but their bench is full. Haktua Moon is done. Can spend $5 on a kicker if they really want to. Bowers up to 5. And Salisbury's in at 5. With no tight end at the moment. Riverette, though, incoming with no tight end either. I had a feeling this would happen. Bowers is the last, like, really legit tight end available. Probably a bidding war. So Bowers for 6. I get Jake Ferguson for 6. We'll see how that winds up in the end. But a Gus Edwards, damn it. Damn it. Fuck. I'm not getting my fucking Chargers, am I? Am I? Damn it. Um, works out. Let's go. A polarizing enough player to swoop in for $1. It does not impact my maximum bid, and I'm comfortable with him on my bench. Needed a receiver. He's my 4th guy. Preserves my budget for a little bit. And there's some upside there. There really is. We'll see what really happens. But for $1, I'm in on Jameson Williams. I'll take JMO for $1. In the right offense. Let's see what happens. Seahawks defense nominated for $1. Seahawks get the Broncos week 1. I'll be honest with you, waiting for that timer on Jameson Williams to click out really had my heart racing. Like I feel the most tense right now since I have from like the first 5 minutes on after that Jameson Williams timeout for $1. Whoa. But Brian Thomas here. I get Brian Thomas for $4. Whew. Really wanted Brian Thomas. I missed out on Roma Dunze. I missed out on McConkey. Brian Thomas for $4. Y'all know I've been on the Brian Thomas Jr. hype train for a while. I think he's better than Christian Kirk this season. Really do. Higher upside. It might not happen week 1, but I think in the long term, there's a ton of potential there. Christian Kirk goes for 6. I get Brian Thomas for 4. I got 3 more bench spots, a kicker and a defense. Jared Goff, nominated for $1 to hit and run. Does not have a QB. Definitely a safe investment. I appreciate it, Jonathan. Really appreciate it. Mo Diesel, I'm going to be completely honest with you right now. I just don't have the mental capacity to answer this question right now. I will stream tomorrow, though. Hit me up with the question tomorrow. Maybe I'll get to it at the end of the draft, but I just can't focus on it as I'm drafting. Just keeping it real. Hertz Almighty going with A.D. Mitchell for $1. Kind of like it. Ravens defense. Nakuma Tata has emptied the budget. $8 for the Ravens defense, and their roster is complete. I'll read off Nakuma Tata's full roster. They got Stroud at the quarterback position, Joe Mixon, Zamir White at running back, Eckler, Zach Moss, and Tajay as the backups. Receiver, Puka Nacua, Malik Neighbors, Stephon Diggs, Devontae Smith, Amari Cooper, Roma Dunze. Elite receivers as a collective group on Nakuma Tata. A little dicey at running back. Little dicey, but not bad. Tight end Evan Ingram. Defense Ravens. Kicker Brandon Aubrey for $1. A steal on Brandon Aubrey given the climate. But Hawk Tua grabs Kaimi Fairbairn of the Texans for $5. Depletes their budget. That roster's complete. Do I bid on TJ Hawkinson? You know, I probably would if I didn't have Jonathan Brooks. But I got someone that's already going on IR. I'm not going to put TJ Hawkinson on IR as well. So plugs up my roster, but kind of like the strategy from Goat Mode. Has Kelsey. Can afford to wait on it. Goat Mode with TJ Hawkinson. I like that pick a lot. But Bongzilla nominates Ezekiel Elliott for $1. Hertz Almighty in for $2. Hertz Almighty up to $4 on Zeke. Shit. This is a little scary. I have 3 roster spots left. Gonna take him for 3. That may have cost me. That may have been a bad choice. Kind of panicked there on who to nominate. It's tense when it's down this late. Nominating the wrong player can hurt you. So at least I get someone I'm happy to have on the team. Because if I got someone I really didn't want for $1, while it's $1 and it doesn't impact my max budget, I have limited roster spots available. Gotta pick and choose.
Jalen Wright nominated for $1. Blake Corum just went for 4. Romeo Dobbs just went for 3. All to Johnny Football. The last 2 picks went to Johnny Football, who's now got a full roster. Fight me. Gonna add Jalen Wright. They have Raheem Mostert, so a very fair selection. Texans defense. Texans get the Colts week 1. Going to be in a lot of high-scoring games. At least their offense will be. We'll see. But Texans defense go. Hit and run with a lot of bench spots still. Five bench spots and a kicker. The interference has left the draft. They have a full roster, I understand. Hit and run gets Braylon Allen for $3. Charbonnet currently going for 1. Goat mode nominates Matthew Stafford. And if we leave GOAT mode this player, his roster's done. His roster would be empty if we leave him Stafford. Just keep that in mind. All right, so GOAT mode is done with this draft. Curtis Samuel up for $1. I almost nominated Curtis Samuel instead of Josh Palmer. I almost did that. But that turf toe injury has me with an eyebrow raised. Gonna put up a kicker, trying to preserve my budget. And give me something to root for with my Chargers. I drafted Cameron Dicker as my kicker. Chargers offense, little hard to like fully buy into as like elite in the touchdown department, but you know they will move it, and I think Cameron Dicker has the leg to contribute. I'm comfortable with the Chargers kicker. Johnny Football nominating Young Hui Koo. Might as well put in an $8 bid. But Bite Me still has several options. Goes Jordan Mason.
Fight Me's roster needs to fill. Jonathan, I see. Well, definitely a good one to get. I almost nominated Koo in all honesty, but I felt like he would be someone people might actually try to outbid me on rather than just like someone that expires for a buck with my Cameron Dicker approach. But Jake Elliott for $1, that's not a bad one to have it either. Trevor Lawrence nomination. Adam Thielen nominated. For $1. Mike Williams nominated. Shit. Where do I go from here? I'm sure there's probably going to be some criticism for this, but I have my reasons. Need to preserve the budget. Oh, shit. Really, Hurts Almighty? Really? Spends $2 on Hurts on the Chargers defense. Johnny Football wanted Jacobs pretty bad. Thin as fuck at receiver. At receiver, you have Waddle Debo. That's not bad. But then Marquise Brown, Romeo Dobbs. Yeah, a little thin. A little bit thin. Dontavian Wicks for $1. Is that the situation we're in? Lockett goes for $1. I think whoever you're nominating now is just on the roster. Unless it's a kicker or a defense. Yeah, because in terms of the max budgets, the only one with $2 would be Fight Me and Gogo Bongzilla. And they're only on
kicker and defense. So, yo, can't believe it, but holy shit. Oh, hell yeah, baby. Rico Dowdle for $1. Let's fucking go. Buried in the player pool. Buried. I need a defense, and this is scaring the shit out of me. I'm gonna go Bills. It could be outbid here. Fuck, I forgot about that. I get the Bills. Shit. Yeah. It's like, who the fuck are you nominating? You better nominate who you want at this point. I'm on the clock here, and the beauty of my Jonathan Brooks pick is that I can put him on IR, and quarterback is thin. I'm taking Kirk Cousins as my backup quarterback. Got Richardson and Cousins. The roster's full, baby. Those are the quarterbacks. Richardson and Cousins. Running backs. Jahmyr Gibbs, Isaiah Pacheco, Jonathan Brooks, Rico Dowdle. Wide receivers, Nico Collins, Brandon Ayuk, T. Higgins, Jamison Williams, Brian Thomas Jr., and Josh Palmer. The defense is the Bills. The kicker is Cameron Dicker, and the tight end is Jake Ferguson. It's in the books, fellas. Or ladies, I'm sure. I doubt it. But you want to be inclusive. Whew. What a show. Most of these rosters are full. Who's still left? We got River Rat with a defense and kicker still left. And I believe that's it. River Rat's the last one. Bears defense. Not bad. They get the Titans week 1. Pretty solid. The draft is complete. Holy shit, that was nerve-wracking. I got Jahmyr Gibbs, Isaiah Pacheco, Nico Collins, Brandon Ayuk, T. Higgins, Anthony Richardson, Jake Ferguson, Jonathan Brooks, Brian Thomas, Josh Palmer, Jamison Williams, Cameron Dicker, Rico Dowdle, Bills defense, Kirk Cousins. That Rico Dowdle pick, yo. That, I think, may have been a steal. That is a swift steal. Holy shit. And as much as I am tempted to log out, we've been live streaming now for
was only 2 hours and 40 minutes. But to see the roster in full, I feel good about this. Let's take a look at some other teams. Let's start with Angus, who's been on the channel. What does Angus wind up with? Goff is the QB, also with Trevor Lawrence. Breece Hall, Chase Brown, Braylon Allen, Marshawn Lloyd, Kimani Vidal, Kendry Miller at the RB spot. The Kendry Miller pick, that feels like something you might drop. But wide receiver, Garrett Wilson, Justin Jefferson, elite at the top. Kyle Pitts, Jackson Smith, and Jigba. Addison as the receivers. Good, decent receiving core with only 4. Could be a little thin. Bengals, Matt Gay, but the starting roster is really solid. If Chase Brown is who we think he might be, this is a very good team. Love the Jared Goff floor play at QB. That's very, very safe. But let's pivot over to Johnny Football. Take a look at his squad. Kyler Murray at QB. No backup quarterback. Running back, Derrick Henry, Kenneth Walker, James Cook, Najee Harris, and Blake Corum, the elite handcuff. Receiver, Jalen Waddle, Deebo Samuel, Marquise Brown, Romeo Dobbs. Those are the 4. Tight end, Trey McBride, stacked up with Kyler. That'll be a tough thing to beat. But Seahawks defense, Younghoe Koo at the kicker. Backup tight end, Pat Freiermuth. Chiefs defense also on the bench. Pretty good. Let's go over to Fight Me, who has a scary as fuck starting roster, man. Holy shit. Dak Prescott stacked up with CeeDee Lamb, Christian McCaffrey, and Raheem Mostert. Obviously, Mostert's a little scary, but fuck, he was so good last season. He could be a huge league winner this year. But also with Rashee Rice, Tank Dell, some really good options there. George Kittle's the tight end. Vikings defense, Cairo Santos is the kicker. On the bench, Xavier Worthy, Jalen Wright, Jordan Mason, Jalen Polk, Dontavian Wicks, Jaleel McLaughlin. So the running back depth plummets, but love the handcuff with Jalen Wright and Raheem Mostert. I think that is, given how risky it is. You also have CMC handcuffed, so you are locked into the Niners starting running back and one of the top 2 running backs for Miami. Not bad. But the 5th is Jaleel McLaughlin. Speaks to the lack of depth there, but really good at the top. Holy shit, this starting roster scares me. CMC and CeeDee Lamb with the Dak stack could be scary. Go Bongzilla. Aaron Rodgers is the quarterback. Caleb Williams on the bench. So Caleb Williams is the starting quarterback. That's the reality. But who knows? Maybe Rodgers is back to MVP caliber. Kyron at running back. Brian Robinson, Devin Singletary. Jerome Ford at RB. Wide receiver, Tyreek Hill, Mike Evans. Christian Kirk, Cortland Sutton, Curtis Samuel, and Mike Williams for that Rodgers stack. We'll see how that goes. Tight end is Dalton Kincaid. Really good there. Cowboys defense, Jake Moody. Good kicker and defense. Let's move over to Hertz Almighty. Has Joe Burrow at QB. No backup. Travis Etienne at running back. Jonathan Taylor at running back. Ezekiel Elliott, Zach Charbonnet. Those are the 4 running backs. Heavy at the top. A little slim at the end, but some decent backups. Amon-Ra St. Brown, Calvin Ridley, DeAndre Hopkins, A.D. Mitchell, Adam Thielen, Tyler Lockett, Jacoby Myers. Tight end is Mark Andrews. Defense, he takes the Chargers from me. Kicker, Evan McPherson. Salisbury Suicide. I'm just going to mention everyone's roster and then I'll log off. But Jordan Love is the QB with Jaden Daniels and Justin Herbert, the 3 quarterback roster. 3 QBs. Josh Jacobs, J.K. Dobbins, Javonte Williams, and Gus Edwards are the running backs. Wide receiver, Drake London, Michael Pittman, Marvin Harrison Jr., Terry McLaurin, Jaden Reed are the receivers. Pretty good at receiver. Marvin at the flex, sneaky upside, especially with McLaurin there and Jaden Reed. It's like Very solid receiving core. But I think James Cook was so cheap, Jonathan, because he just went so late. But let's move on. Take a look at GOAT mode. We got, I think, 5 left to speak about. Jalen Hurts and the Saquon Barkley stack. I don't think there's a backup quarterback. No, he has Stafford as well. Aaron Rodgers at running back, along with Jalen Warren, DeAndre Swift. A little top heavy. Aaron Jones. We'll see how he holds up, but definitely some high upside with these running backs. Love the price on Jalen Warren. He got a fucking steal on Jalen Warren. But receiver, Devontae Adams, George Pickens, Zay Flowers, Keenan Allen. Solid depth. Tight end is Travis Kelce with TJ Hawkinson, IR eligible on the bench. Flex play is James Conner. Almost forgot about James Conner. That I think really ties this roster together nicely. Added James Conner with Zay Flowers on the bench. I like it. Browns defense, Harrison Butker. Talent there. Moving on to Hawk to a Moon. We got Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson at quarterback. Running back, Devon Achane, Alvin Kamara, Rashad White, Ramondre Stevenson, and Ty Chandler. Wide receiver, DJ Moore, Christian Watson, Keon Coleman, Deontay Johnson, Ladd McConkey. Pretty solid receiving core. High upside with Watson and Keon. Very safe floors with Deontay and Ladd McConkey. Really good receiving core here. Having Goddard as like a last-ditch effort at tight end really works. And if he can get a steal in a trade for Lamar Jackson, if he can get a good haul, then that'll be really interesting. But I don't think that Lamar Jackson backup QB situation really hurt him. I like the team. 49ers defense, Kaimi Fairbairn is the kicker. Let's go. Nakua Matata. Early finisher in terms of the roster. One of the first teams done. With CJ Stroud at QB. No backup. Joe Mixon, Zamir White. Eckler, Zach Moss, and Tyjae Spears. So decent depth in the back. We'll see how Eckler pans out. But Zamir White as your RB2 is pretty safe. Not bad at all. And then receiver, Puka Nacua, Malik Neighbors, Stephon Diggs, Devontae Smith, Amari Cooper, Rome Odunze. Elite receiving core for Nakua Matata. Tight end Evan Ingram. Ravens defense, Brandon Aubrey at the kicker. Shocked that he only went for $1, Brandon Aubrey. Sharp pickup. Good team. River Rat as Mahomes. No backup. Bijan Samaje. Whoa, Samaje is the RB2. Whoa. Trey Benson, Tyler Algier, Ray Davis, Bucky Irving. So hoping for some bench depth. We'll see when James Conner does go down. But at the moment, Samaje Perine in the starting roster. We'll see about that. Receivers, A.J. Brown, Jamar Chase, Darnell Mooney, Gabe Davis, and Jalen McMillan are the receivers. So real top heavies with some studs at the top. Not bad at all. Little thin in terms of depth, but when you got Bijan, Jamar Chase, and A.J. Brown to start off, that's what happens. Really good at the top. Definitely can carry you. And then last team to mention, Pasture Interference with Tua at QB, Brock Purdy as the backup. Already put Nick Chubb on IR. But running backs, Dave Montgomery, Tony Pollard, and Chuba Hubbard. Got some early season production from Chuba. And with Nick Chubb correlating some high upside late, I'm sure they're happy that the IR is there. They can pick up someone soon. We'll see who they grab. But receiver, Cooper Kupp, DK Metcalf, Chris Olave, Chris Godwin, Khalil Shakir. Tight ends are Laporta and David Njoku. Jets defense, Justin Tucker is the kicker. And I believe that's it. I'm pretty sure that's everyone. I did go through every single team. Yep. Holy shit, man. Wow. If you have not done so already, hit that subscribe button. That's how you can be eligible for the Subscriber League next season. And I'm really hopeful we can do 2 next year. I really doubt we'll have enough time to do 2 over the weekend. I would need like 10 people to email me, and then buy-ins are also a factor. So I really doubt it. I think we're just sticking to one. But wow, that was so much fun. Really fun. And right before I sign off, I'll spark up one last time. One last time. I like the 4th and 20 roster. I like it a lot. Here it is on the screen, in case you want to peruse it. That Rico Dowdle pick, so fucking clutch. Fight me, saying my bench is dog shit. Jonathan, peace out, man. Thank you for drafting with us. That was so much fun, man. That was so much fun. Jason saying he's thin everywhere. Yeah. There's a lot of teams that have a little bit of lack of depth, but I really think every team is very competitive. I really do. There are a few spots that are thin, but trades can always be made. There's always people on the waiver wire. Shit's gonna be wild. Only just beginning. But Sasquiro, you're welcome. Fight me. Love you too, man. Love football. Love the fact that football is back. This is so great. And Matt Pereira, it's been fun as well. Got to be at the office in approximately 3 hours, so appreciate you staying up with me, man. I'm sure you're probably sleeping at this point, but if you do circle back and check out, thank you so much for drafting this late. Jay Hopkins pissed he missed on Rico. I would be too, but looks like we got some trade negotiations already in the mix. And Jonathan in that hotel lobby at 1 a.m. Thank you so much for doing it. And I think I've hit a lot of the comments. Abraham, appreciate you, man. And I'll look forward to your email. We'll see what happens. But I feel good about the team as well, Andre. I think it came out really, really nicely. And yeah. Mahomes for 16 feels like a bit of a gift, but like, I mean, you compare it to Jaden Daniels at 12. Yeah, I think that's a gift, but high potential for Jaden Daniels as well. Lamar for 20 though. Mahomes for 16. That makes sense. Escuro was very stressful. Very, 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 very fucking stressful. I tried to keep it close to the vest this time, Angus. I was not trying to tip my hand. But I think that'll be all the comments I scroll back to check out. But I send Hertz for JJ Dynasty Superflex. I'm gonna be honest, Ryan. I think I'm just a little too overstimulated to really put my mind into this. Please ask me tomorrow. My initial gut is I'd rather keep Hertz in Superflex, but it's Dynasty. You're gonna have Jefferson for longer. It's really close. It would depend on the roster. I think I'd hold on Hertz because it's Superflex. I think I would do that. Super valuable there. Yeah, I'm gonna hold on Hertz. But if you want to ask me against tomorrow with the full context of your league, go ahead and do that. Anyways, that's going to be it for me, everyone. I appreciate everyone for sticking through this thing. It's been a long one. We're coming up on... We're 10 minutes away from 3 hours. But thank you so much for joining me. Hope it was fun. It was really fun for me. And yeah, hope you have a great night. I love my team. I got to be honest with you, man. I feel really good about my team. And wish me luck. I wish you luck. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good night. Peace out.